Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Anime Podcasters. I'm your host, Hotshot Ginger, and with me I have someone who's been a little absent from his own freaking show on his own freaking channel, JaianMusic. How's it going, buddy? I guess I'm doing this solo. This is going to be a weird conversation.
Dude, I was like, this is a perfect response. This guy's not even here.
Like this isn't a podcast anymore. This is just giving my thoughts on a certain thing.
It's like, hi guys, welcome back to Anime Podcasters. I'm Hotshot Ginger, and everyone else left. Today, we're going to be talking about loyalty.
And how it means absolutely nothing.
Oh man, I am so happy to be back here with guys. Hotshot is a pillar of the Anime Podcasters logo of the Anime Podcasters Saiyan Pod. He's been in there. He's been traveling from topic to topic, and he's making his way to this episode right now. And let's be honest, I have no idea what's going on right now. I do not know what the topic is. I do not know what I'm about to jump into, and he loves it. I can hear it in his voice, guys. Yeah.
So, guys, it's December. It's the holiday season. And with that comes, with Christmas and other holidays, giving gifts and giving joy. So I thought, since me and Jaden don't know each other in real life really that well, I would make this episode to him a present, or his Christmas present for the year. Jaden, you have no idea what to expect, do you?
Dude, you didn't tell me anything. This is, honestly the most vulnerable I've been on an episode, if I'm being honest.
I know, and you're shaking with anticipation, aren't you?
I'm just shaking out of, let's get on with it.
There is a certain series that I've been wanting to check out, and you've been wanting me to check out for...
No way!
A little over a year, maybe more.
No way!
And I finally watched all 12 episodes.
You're serious?
And we're actually going to talk about it today. Check your DMs.
No way. Oh my god. Okay, this is real time, guys. I'm opening. Okay, did you send it on Facebook? Oh, okay.
Nope, I sent it on Discord.
No way. Dude.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Holy moly. Really?
Really?
Okay,
ask Yo, he'll tell you the same thing.
I agree, but I think we should tell the people what we're looking at here, because
come on.
They still have no idea.
Let them boil in suspense. They see the title. They know what's going on.
That's true. Oh,
Alright, guys,
okay, I'm excited.
We are finally talking about Blood Sea. It is a show that Jaden has been wanting me to watch for about 2 years, if not more. And I watched the first episode, said I'd go back to it, didn't go back to it. I finally watched it. Jaden, this is your Christmas present.
Dude, thank you so much. I am so wow right now. This is awesome. I watched this anime back in 2016. I saw the Blood Sea movie maybe in 2018. I've watched Blood Plus. This is an anime franchise that's that I personally really enjoyed. It's intense, it definitely has its own particular things about it. But today we're going to be breaking down Blood Sea, the series. A lot of interesting characters, very weird plot, and Hotshot, I'm not even going to look at your list yet because I just want to naturally go into this. I just want to know initial thoughts, buddy, because I've been telling you to watch this for years.
Right. And my initial thought is, you know that I'm a gore hound at heart. I tend to lean towards more of the dirty stuff, but at heart, I'm a gore hound. I did really love it. I did really like the action. I liked the characters that we're building and the story that was unraveling as it went. I may not have enjoyed it as much as you were hoping I did, but I still really liked it. It's probably the best one that you've recommended to me in a while.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from when you say that. So, Blood Sea, to me, was this meme back in 2015 where people were saying, oh, anime is for kids, and then they would just play all the death scenes from Blood Sea, all the killings, and they're like, huh, really? Anime is really for kids? And Blood Sea is just this story of destruction, revenge, and and it's basically about this like really peaceful schoolgirl by day, but monster slayer by night. Her name is Saya, and she leads this like, I would say like split life, and she's trained in the art of the sword, and she has this like sword that's given to her from her
the sacred sword given to her by her mother.
I think it was her father, but by her family.
Her father gave her the sword and said it was her mother's.
Okay, I understand. Perfect. You're gonna be way more on top of it.
Yeah, I literally just finished it like a week ago.
Okay, perfect. And basically, what happens here is that the world that she lives in is humans and elder barons, and there's like this how can I say understanding between the two that like will be chill, and that gets broken at one point, and the elder barons just destroy all humans, and Saya's kind of the only one that can do something about the elder barons. And it starts off slow, but very quickly we see that a lot of torment and a lot of violence unravels throughout the anime. It's a very unique story. I don't even know. Like, I would say it's obviously like it's got a thriller thing to it. It's got a lot of action. It's like horror, fantasy, like, you know. It's got a lot of cool themes in it that I really enjoyed. I don't even know where to start, man. Like, you asked me a question now, Hotshot, because oh my god, I'm still like, you finally watched Blood Sea. The meme has died.
Yep, killed the meme. We killed the Black Star meme, and now we killed this meme.
Yeah. Wow, buddy. Appreciate that.
So I'm gonna start with the first point on my list, actually, because the Elder Barons were so unique in their abilities and their design. What was your favorite Elder Baron?
I mean, the thing is, to me, the spider is always one of those ones that sticks to mind. The design of it, I think we spoke about the spider like
we went over it in like Halloween for Halloween monsters and transformations. Yeah, and I can definitely see why, because the amount of carnage that thing wreaked was holy crap.
I really feel like the spider is probably the most. No, the bunnies kill the most. The bunnies
definitely kill the most. They basically wipe out the city.
Yes, they wipe at the very last episode. I'm just trying to find the article, the Elder Baron article, because there's I remember there's an Elder Baron article on monsters.fandom.com, and it's like all the Elder Barons are listed here, so it's gonna it's gonna help me remind myself. But there's no images, of course. Fun. Just a quick look from Google Images will do the trick. Okay, yes, the old ones. Do you remember the one at the very beginning? That's like when Saya's training and he has like those two like knifey clawy hands. You know what I mean? That like just swing in the ground.
Like at the very start, yeah.
The very start. That one was a really cool design because it felt like it was a training that she was going through.
It felt like it was a train. Well, I mean, really. It was kind of a training thing to the viewers because it's like, oh shit, this is what we're in for. Like it was kind of easing us into it because it is probably like the least vicious Elder Baron she's faced in the show, but not to say that it wasn't a threat.
No, and the thing with the old one that I remember that really like messed me up was like there was one moment where like she's underwater. Remember when he's like pinning her down underwater or like holding her down?
Oh, and she almost suffocated. Yeah.
But like he had like his hand swat directly at her head, and like she like stopped moving, but then she started moving again. I never understood that. Do you know what moment I'm describing?
I know. Yeah, she went limp. She was playing a feint for him to lower his guard and then get a strike in.
But it looked like he striked right on the head, though. So that's what confused me.
He striked on the head, and her body went limp. She made her body go limp, so he would drop her because he thought he'd killed her. It was to let him. It was to get him to drop his guard so she could go in for a strike.
Yeah, and now what I'm saying, this character is called Jizo Bosatu. Apparently.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to tell you the names if I'm being honest.
No, it's Jizo, the first shown. It possesses a statue of Jizo Bosatu and can levitate at a very short distance from the floor. It possesses a hard shell. When damaged enough, it pulls two raptional legs and uses it to move and perform a very big leap. Okay. Huh. But yeah, the spider for me is the
It's the way to go for this.
Yeah. Like go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the 20 legs that it has, yeah, that's too many legs for a spider in my opinion. That's overkill. And then like they're all super sharp, and it just this thing really was. I feel like this one was the first serious Elder Baron. You know what I mean? This one was like the oh snap, Elder Baron for me. It was the one that got into that school and just absolutely went on a rampage. And it took a while till we get to like this anime really heats up around episode 7 or 8. You know what I mean? Because I remember like one of the twin dies halfway through, and then you kind of get like, okay, Elder Barons are kind of a thing. But then this was the first mass destruction of it, right?
Yeah, because you hear about the mass destruction that the Elder Barons can wreak, but you never really see it. You only see like 1 or maybe 2 people dying at their hands. But then when one of them kills a main character, like the twins, for instance, that's going to stick with you. Oh, crap, they are an actual threat. And then when you see the spider tear through the school, like, oh, crap, it is a real threat.
Exactly. No, this one is no joke at all. I'm going to say that the spider is mine.
The one that sticks most to me is the, if you remember, it's really early. It's the train car that is a mimic. So it hypnotizes people and people walk into the train car and then it eats them from the inside. Kind of like the train from Demon Slayer.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm on the article right now.
Yeah, that's the one that sticks the most with me because I love the concept of mimics. Like things that look like one thing but are really evil.
Oh my god, yeah. This was really cool. Okay, like, it starts out in episode 3. I'm like, the thing is with this episode, guys, obviously, because it's a surprise and I haven't seen it in a long time, I'm going to be a lot more wiki reliant on this one. But like, so, because I don't remember the train. Like, the episode 3 of Blood Sea is like wiped from my memory, obviously. But like, from what I'm reading here, it looks like a plain sight train, and people take it, and then they get hypnotized, and it turns itself into spikes. Holy smokes.
Yeah, they get hypnotized like late at night. Like one of the instances is the baker disappears, and Saya finds him later that night and finds him walking around in a daze, and he just walks into the car before getting snapped out of it, and then like a noose of intestines like just comes down and scoops him up and just eats him.
Yeah. No, the train is definitely no joke.
It's. Like, none of these Elder Barons are jokes by their own regards. Like, there are some that wreak absolute havoc, like the spider and the bunnies. But then, remember, these are all still creatures that are killing humans, just in their own way.
No, I fully agree. I fully agree with you. Man, I wanted to know, I kind of want to jump to one character, because the thing is, this character obviously comes back in Blood-Sea The Last Dark, which is a movie that concludes the Blood-Sea series, which I'm guessing you haven't seen yet, Hotshot?
No, I've only watched Blood-Sea. I haven't watched Blood Plus or the movie yet.
The Blood-Sea The Last Dark is the movie of it afterwards, and it's another really good it's on another level for sure than the actual series. I loved it more. But the character leading into that, Fumito is is barely seen in Blood-Sea. We only really see him at the very, very, very end. And he's seems like a very easygoing, like kind, caring guy at the beginning. But when you see him shoot Saya in the head,
you're talking about the one. You're talking about the one that played the part of the baker, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
No, I loved him. He was awesome. He was charming. And then when his real colors came out, and then he shot Saya, I'm like, oh, she's gonna kill you.
Yeah, like at the very end where she's like jumping, she's like, I'm about to get him, sword in the air, and he's just coming out of the helicopter, and he's like, nah, bro, bang. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, and because he was working at the cafe. Guimauve Cafe. I remember the name of the cafe because I cover the theme of that cafe. Oh my god, yeah. And then that character, what I really didn't like about him is he was hiding in plain sight the whole time, and I didn't even notice it. I never felt like he was a bad character the whole time. And at the very end, when I figured out it was a whole double cross, it bugged me immensely. I don't know. Like, do you have any other thoughts on Fumito as a villain?
I mean, Fumito is a villain. Like, honestly, it was a twist that caught me completely off guard. I was going to say it makes sense, but it just caught me so off guard that I can't really defend it. But if you remember, like, every main character that Saya met was just playing a part, and they were all evil in their own right. Like, the only one who kind of tilted their hat was the teacher. just because of like how easygoing she was with everything. And then she was the first one to drop hints at Saya that she knew what Elder Barons were when she was telling everybody the scary story. And
right.
And this is actually a point that I have on my list. They told us from the start, like even as early as episode 1 or 2, they told us this isn't real. Like,
really? I don't remember this.
Well, like it's dropped in hints where like the twins are constantly complaining about this town being so boring. The teacher's saying this is her first teaching job, and what she wants to learn, she can only learn here around Saya. The bad boy coming in late to class was only coming in because he was only doing this to get paid. No other reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just basically a let's get this over with attitude with like everybody.
Right. Okay, I understand. I see what you mean. The thing is with that, with the hints being dropped, it was so.
No, like if you're watching it for the first time, if you're watching it the first time, it's so under the cover that you just see it as regular teenage behavior. But then if you watch it once and then watch it again, you'll pick up on all the hints that are, oh my god, they are actually just playing a part.
Right. To me too, I really felt like the one thing that made me kind of feel like it was fake or just like another cover up, like this could be a cover up, or characters like Tokizane. The one I'm referring to is the classmate of Saya, like the tall black haired dude, who's like the labeled as like the handsome guy with the spiky hair,
the one that Saya starts getting a crush on.
Yeah, that guy, like he felt like such the classic pretty boy character that I was like, okay, this seems like kind of we've been here before. This character is like Sasuke version 43, you know? It just kind of felt like, okay, I feel like there's like a lot of repetitive stuff that I've seen before in anime where if this was like just a cover up, it would make sense for that reason, because characters like this exist. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the Blood Sea throws you under the bus because it shows you all these characters and all these versions of characters that you're used to seeing. Mm-hmm. But then when you get like halfway through and it kills one of the twins, it kills one of the main characters. And then like an episode or two later, the other twin dies. And then maybe a couple episodes later, the one that Saya has a crush on dies. And it's actually starting to kill the main cast. So it's showing you, oh shit, this is actually going like a way different direction than you'd expect. And then the one thing I don't really like about Blood Sea is the fact that in the last maybe 2 episodes, it just drops a whole buttload of info on you to where the teacher's showing Saya the fake world. Saya walks out through the door, basically leaving the stage. The twins are alive, the bad boy's alive, the teacher's alive. And it's just like, yeah, we're all just playing a part. You're part of an experiment. And it's just, there's a whole bunch of info that's dumped in the last 20 minutes of the show.
Yeah, and I feel like it was the final episode, right?
It was the second to last episode, because the last one was mostly action-based, where the guys set the bunnies loose, and Saya was trying to chase them down. Right.
Like, the teacher, to me, it just felt like one of those, how can I say this? A character with no, very surface level, there's no depth to this character, very much just there to be a teacher. Kind of had a thing where she was, like, chastising Saya and,
I mean, she was playing the part as a teacher, but what she really was a writer, because she wanted to expose Saya to the world. Mm-hmm. And she was running on a deadline. That's why she's the only one that was pushing Saya to hurry up and do this.
Yeah. I don't know. I never found like the background characters, like the twins or the teacher or the pretty boy character, had any sort of substance in Blood Sea. That's one criticism that I would give to the anime. It's all about Saya. Saya carries the series.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the only substance that they carried was, they're supporting main characters. They're there to give Saya more depth because they're her friends. So when Saya sees her friends dying, then that sends her into a blood rage, or like it's showing that she actually has a human side. especially when it's revealed later on that she herself is an Elder Baron.
Right, but like I have to disagree respectfully with, like, for example, let me just give you an example that I think we can both agree. Krillin is a support character.
Right.
Right? The twins are not support characters. You see what I mean? That's kind of what I'm trying to say. They don't go to that extent. They're just kind of just there.
They don't go to that extent with these characters, and I agree with you 100%. Like, if you compare the twins to Krillin's gonna etch out the better character every time. But they're really only there to help Saya. Krillin was there to help Goku at first, but he was also ironed out as his own character. The twins and the other characters aren't really given that privilege.
No, because I'll be honest, the only two characters, like 6 years removed from this, the only two characters I remember, and I mean I remember by name, is Fumito and Saya.
Okay.
That's the two characters I remember.
And those
I
are
remember
really...
the father by face. That's it.
Really, it's like the main antagonist and the protagonist in that case.
Yeah.
Like, remember...
That's why I mean, I
remember the twins by name just because they acted really cute. And then just their personality shift at the end of everything, like, it kind of stuck with me just because of how different they actually were. But other than that, I remember Saya's name and the name of the Elder Barons, or just Elder Barons.
Get back to me in 6 years, bro.
Get back to you in 6 years, and I'll watch Blood Bless at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, though. That's not a meme. That's a fact.
At 2030, we'll watch Blood Bless.
Oh, my God. 6 years? No, 2028.
No, I'm pushing it to 2030 now.
Oh, great. Okay. Let's go to another point that you sent.
Yeah. Saya's revival. So
remind me of this.
So when we start the series, Saya is just playing out her life as a eager, innocent high school girl. But then at the end of it, it's revealed that she's an Elder Baron, and she gains all of her memories back. She remembers her promise. She knows why she doesn't know her mother. It's revealed that her father was an Elder Baron and her mother was a human. And just that this whole buttload of information is dumped on Saya. And she just goes full on, like, I remember who I am, and you will pay for what you've done to me.
Right. To me, that whole thing was the spark to Saya the warrior, Saya the killer, Saya the revenge character, Saya the samurai. You see what I mean? I feel like that is what fueled her action as a swordswoman, you know? And obviously she's very skilled in what she does, and she's kind of written as the character that's the only one who can do it. But the spark of it all is definitely that, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, but if you remember, even in the first fight, when her eyes went red, it was hinted at there was something more to Saya that we didn't know.
Right, that's true. I remember that.
And then when she met up with everybody after their death, when all the truth was being dropped, Nene or Nono, one of the twins, told...
I forgot those were the names.
Nene and Nono.
Oh no!
They were telling Saya that she was purposely drinking elderbear blood after she'd slayed him, and then it went back to every elder baron she'd killed, and just showed her licking a wound of some kind.
Right.
And then it was revealed that Gimo, the little pink sugar cube that I can't remember his name, that the baker was giving her, was just congealed elder baron blood. Mm-hmm. That's why she found it so sweet, and why she was the only one that would eat it.
I see. I kind of want to switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
Because I feel like you kind of share the same sentiment as the internet on this anime. It's average. Like if you go on Wikipedia and you look at the reception section, it says here... Brad Leak from Them Anime gave the series a 3 out of 5. Anime News Network gave the subtitled version a B-, the dub version a C+. On my anime list, it doesn't even break 7 out of 10. This one is very like meh. Why do you think that is? What's lacking here? What's the downside of this anime, in your opinion? Because you have a fresh perspective on it.
Well, I mean, you said yourself the supporting characters aren't really supporting characters. Mm-hmm. And I said they're really only there to give Saya more depth.
Right, but outside of that.
Outside of that?
Outside of that.
That plays a whole big part because, I mean, if you take out the supporting characters, you literally only have Saya and the Elder Bearers. That's it.
True. Very true. I didn't think of it
And
that way.
the best part of the anime is Saya versus the Elder Bearers. The action is probably the best part. The slice of life stuff where it's showing her grow as a human and talking to her friends, it's very boring. It's very mundane. The side characters don't really have that much depth to them, as we've said. And like I said, if you watch the show once and then watch it again, they drop hints that this isn't real and that there's something else they'd rather be doing. Like, I was picking up on it when I was showing it to Kyo because I watched it first on my own. And then everything the characters were saying was hitting different for me.
Right. No, I see what you mean. I have to, although, disagree with you when you say if you take out the supporting characters, all you have left is Saya and the Elder Barons. To me, there's a few... Well, I kind of talk about the good things this anime did, in my opinion, too, because... So basically, obviously, the action sequences is what we love about it. But also, I found that the mystery element of the whole thing, I think there's a mystery element to this because it's a very unfolding, unraveling story. They maintain the mystery pretty well in between fights. You see what I mean? I think that's like a strong point that the anime has. You're intrigued as to what's going to happen next in this very peaceful town with this sword fighting character. You know what I mean? The horror-based atmosphere works well in that sense. The very beginning is just slow. There's not enough development at the start. It doesn't start fast. It's a very slow evolve at the beginning, and you lose a lot of interest quickly because of that. Do you agree with that, or do you see it differently?
I do. I mean, we live in a very fast-paced society where if you don't have attention grabbing you immediately, or like in the first couple episodes, you're not going to want to continue or push through it. Like, even when I was showing it to Kyo, I showed him like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and he's like, yeah, it's all right, but it's just kind of bleh to me. And I mean, I get it, because it is a slow burn anime, and you have to get through it. But then once you get to a certain point, like once you get halfway through, once the first twin dies, then things start ramping up quickly. The problem is you have to get halfway through the show to get to there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Actually, I'd be curious to know, obviously Kyo's not here, but for me, I found that the way this anime was drawn, the character designs was really beautifully drawn. Like, I think that it fit the mystery aspect of it. I don't know, the way they were animated, the way the whole show was visually made, fit with the mysterious atmosphere of it. Do you feel the same way?
I do. I mean, like the tall, lanky, like almost skeletal kind of appearance for the characters. Mm-hmm. Is that what you're talking about? Just like how they were all designed?
Just all characters.
Yeah,
I really felt like
those were the humans. Like, they were very tall, very stretched out. Because these guys were done by the same studio that did the anime Holic, or Triple X Holic. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know that at all. I don't really know it that well. I just know it by the style.
I just heard the name a couple of times, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's just done in that style. They have like a very gothic, like elongated body kind of appearance to everybody, and somehow it works when like you live in a gothic or evil kind of environment.
I see what you mean.
I'm not the guy to talk about when it comes to design stuff, clearly.
No. It's, of course, but I'm always like interested in having your takes. The one thing I want to actually say, I'm seeing here on the wiki, at the Reaper Awards show, Bloodseed was awarded the 2013 award for Best Animation. That's interesting. I did not see that before I asked you that question. That's really interesting. Reaper Awards is annual awards show presented by Home Media Magazine and Dread Central to honor the best horror genre home video releases. Interesting, because Bloodseed does have horror components to it. So I guess in the horror anime section, this anime has a few key points that works for it.
Well, I mean, the animation for it is very fluid. Like, the only part where it's slow is the slice of life stuff, but I mean, that's to be expected. It's just people going to school. But like the sword fights or the Elder Barons causing destruction, the blood pouring especially, or the intro alone, Like, the animation itself is gorgeous. It is really pretty to look at. And again, I do love the fights where, like I said, I'm a gorehound. It's just blood splattering everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is very pretty to look at. The characters are well designed. The Elder Barons are very well designed. And the way they move feels natural to how they're proportioned. Especially I feel like that's hard to do with creatures.
Yeah. No, I would have to agree with you. I don't think it's an easy task at all, whether it be with creatures or just anything in general, you know?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not really the kind of guy to talk about like
for
animation
sure.
style.
We can move on. For sure. So let's.
There really is like one more major point I wanted to hit on, and then like any other small things you wanted to hit if there were any that came up. The moment where Saya kills her father. Because from episode 1 to episode 12, we've only been hearing how much Saya loves her dad and how much he means to her and everything else. But when the truth is revealed and Saya finally gets her memories back and realizes that her father is an Elder Baron, there is no hesitation for her to grab her sword and do battle with him. Like, at all.
Yeah. Bro, that's the art of the sword.
Yeah, no, you're right.
He's the enemy. He became the enemy. The enemy has got to go, bro.
It's kind of, if you're like, it's kind of, in my mind at least, it's the same kind of scenario if your loved one becomes a zombie. Like, as much as you love them, they're not there anymore. It's not them. They are trying to kill you.
No, exactly. I fully agree with you. So to me, when that happened, it just made sense. I mean, I was so deep into Blood-Sea at that point. I was just like, I mean, what else do you expect? You really think she's going to sit him down and be like, okay, Dad, let's work this out?
I mean, no, of course not, especially because this is after she got her memories back. This is when, like, sweet, innocent girl Saya became warrior samurai Saya. Like, I am here to destroy Elder Barons, and that is what I'm going to do.
Right. I mean, what else do you expect? I think
it just hit hard. It just hit a little harder for me, I guess, because it was Saya herself doing it. Because this was her actual father. This wasn't just someone like playing the part. This was her actual dad.
Oh, I forgot that part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of mad. Ugh. Yo, this anime is messed up, bro.
It really is. I mean, it's beautiful, and it is well worth the watching if you guys can survive like halfway through until it starts really ramping up. But it is not a nice anime.
No. Absolutely.
If you're expecting Sunshine and Lollipops, watch Nichijou or Lucky Star. Don't watch Blood-Sea.
Okay, I got two more things I want to mention before final thoughts.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, you kind of spoke about it, but because you're really fresh on this, so I'm going to ask you, and I don't really want to give in my point. What were your thoughts on just episode 11 and 12, like just the fights of it all? Like, I'm talking all the monsters that came out, all the battle, like just strictly the action in those two. The bunnies, everything. Let's just kind of like, let's cap off that part of the anime.
Okay. Well, I mean, the bunnies are how you introduced me to the anime in the first place. Like, you didn't give me any context or anything. You just showed me mass murdering bunnies. Like, there was the blender hand, and then the kebab finger one, and just destroying the entire town. Yeah, where he, like, stuck people on his fingers.
Dude, I know. I was there. I saw it. Don't even remind me.
Or, like, the first one that the baker brings out to take care of the twins and the bad boy for deserting. And just ripping, like, forcing one of the twins to do the splits and just ripping her in half and splatting on the ground. I really love how Saya killed that one, though, like, by letting herself get eaten and taking him out on the inside. Because all she did was rip out his heart.
Right.
Or, like, stabbing him with the sheath of her blade. And at that point, it was revealed, oh, yeah, it doesn't really matter what you kill him with. As long as you make them bleed enough, they'll die. Like, Sacred Sword, no, that's bullshit.
Right, no, I understand. Like, to me, those two fights... those two episodes full of fights, like all these characters like getting killed off at the end. The one thing for me, honestly, it felt rushed. Like, too much was happening. We could have spread this over 3 episodes, in my opinion.
I think they were just trying to make up for it because there was a lot that was happening in the last 2 episodes, kind of making up for like nothing happening in the first half.
Right.
And the thing is, it was just too much. You're right, because there was a lot of lore dump, a lot of information dump, especially on Saya. Like, she spent the first half of the 11th episode like just broken because of how much she was hearing.
Yeah.
And then it was just pure Elder Baron carnage.
Yeah, exactly. It was insane. Those 2 episodes just have too much action in the sense that it's not enough time to really break down and understand everything. So yeah, but I'm with you on that. Hotshot, before we go, we're going to do something. I have my own surprise. And I'm deciding to bring on to you right now. Guys, linked in the description of this episode, I'm putting myself a reminder here. There will be a trailer to Blood-C, the movie, The Last Dark. An English dub trailer for my friend Hotshot. And we're just going to get a voiceover reaction right now from Hotshot for this trailer. It's 1 minute and 15 seconds long. I have it on my screen. And we're just going to hit play at the same time, Hotshot. And if people want to watch it on the same time, they can sync up with us. What do you say, buddy?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
All right, tell me when you're good to go. And we'll set things up.
2, 1.
All right, so Madman Studios is the studio that creates this. But you'll see very quickly that it's messed up,
it's part of Blood-C, so that's very expected.
Yeah, exactly. You know, quickly see there's monsters going on here.
Yeah.
And Saya's
doing her thing.
And but what I like a lot about this movie is the lighting. It's got this dark but like luminescence to it. It's weird. But it came out in 2012, so it's 10 years old now, but the animation holds up.
Yeah, I mean, movie animations for anime is always spike up in quality because they're doing a movie. Yeah. It's not a show anymore.
No, exactly. But look at that. Like, just swords, blood washing. There's another train. Yeah. Is that train an Elder Baron? Oh, there's an Elder Baron on the train. It says there. And boom, Blood-C, The Last Dark. Available on Blu-ray, DVD, digital, da-da-da-da. You see what I mean? Like, this anime movie has to be a 2023 topic, in my opinion. It's only right.
It took us this long to talk about Blood-C.
Honestly, dude, we could even do like a Netflix party. I'll watch this with you, because I need to be refreshed as well. I watched this one, like I said, like in 2018.
Clear something up for me.
I think.
Is Blood-C the movie immediately after Blood-C, or is it Blood-C, Blood Plus, and then Blood-C the movie?
Blood Plus is is before Blood-C, but I think that Blood-C is not like the characters. Okay, this is Blood-C, the series is first, and then it's Blood-C, The Last Dark. That's the order for those 2 pieces of media. I'm just trying to remind myself the Blood Plus.
Because I was under the assumption that Blood Plus was after C.
Yeah. No, Blood Plus is before Blood-C, from what I remember.
Okay.
Blood-C is... Yeah, Blood Plus and Blood-C both have Saya, but it's a different Saya. They have similar themes, obviously, but Blood-C came out after Blood Plus, from what I remember. And Blood Plus has its own set of characters that are... The only character really that's in Blood-C and Blood Plus is Saya, but then again, it's a different Saya for both. It's not
either way, I'll at least watch Blood-C the movie. Blood-C the movie for 2023, and we'll do that.
Yeah, for sure.
It took us this long. It took it until your Christmas present for us to finally talk about Blood-C. But next year, we will do the movie.
Perfect. And final thoughts on this, Hotshot, real quick, in a 30-second format.
I really liked it. I really love Blood-C. I love the action, and the characters are okay enough for me, especially Saya. I do love Saya. But as much as you were talking about how much I was going to love it, I don't think it lives up to that hype.
Oh, yeah, I overhyped.
You were talking about it to where I thought it was going to be like an 11 out of 10. I'm probably gonna rest between like 6 and 7. Like would I watch it again? Yeah, especially since now I can pick up on all the like hidden undertones.
No, I understand. But very fair.
It's not going to be in like my top 10, like by any means. But I did enjoy it, and I did like what I saw.
Perfect. For myself, honestly, I just really wanted to talk about this anime for the longest time, and I'm just happy we did. I've left all my thoughts in the episode proper, so I have nothing else particularly to add, especially considering that I haven't seen this anime in a very long time. Okay, so The artwork for Anime Podcasters is provided by GoProKyo. He's available for hire. Follow him on Twitter at GoProKyo. Our podcast assistant is Murel. He's just really busy with college right now, but he's still a part of the show. He'll be coming back on, hopefully on the next episode. I want to get him at least one more time before the end of the year. He's working hard. He's doing good, and I'm so proud of him, and he's an amazing member of the podcast to have on. And you can follow him on social media too. His links are all in the description. The podcast is at Anime Podcasters on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you want to follow the podcast on YouTube, it's on my channel, youtube.com/JaianMusic. Wow, I misspelled my own name. Great, Jaian. Let's go. Keep it up, buddy. You're doing so good. And you can also follow the podcast on any podcatcher. And don't forget to leave us a review on ratethispodcast.com/anime podcasters. All the other links are in the description. I'm at JaianMusic on social media, JaianMusic.com, my website. Hotshot, go ahead and plug yourself after all of that.
You guys can find me right here on Giant Music's YouTube channel on Anime Podcasters and wherever the podcast is heard, be it here, Spotify, wherever you guys are listening. You guys can also find me over on Twitter at HotshotGinger. I will do nothing but ghost you and post constant reminders to watch my podcast. And you guys can find me on my channel, HotshotGinger, here on YouTube as well, doing the sister podcast with GoProKyo, PonsuCast.
Perfect. So, for myself and Hotshot and everybody else at Anime Podcasters, this has been another episode of
Anime Podcasters. We just said it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.